Hi everyone, welcome back. A new week here on the Bison video blog as we continue our off-season summer coverage. There is no off-season though, Jeffrey, is there in college football these days, right?
Not in FCS when you're covering North Dakota State football. There's not.
We are counting down. Last week we did our breakthrough performers. This week we're going to focus on top 5 newcomers to the Bison football team, either guys that redshirted last season or planned they're going to be either true freshmen or transfers as part of the 2016 team. So they have not seen the field yet. That's part of the criteria that we have established for newcomers for this week, correct?
Correct, and these are somewhat stabs in the dark, so we'll see how correct we are when it comes this fall.
So come January, I can mock you or I can just pat you on the back like I normally do, correct?
No, correct.
I just want to make sure that the nickel was right. We didn't do that in our last week. All right, anyway, let's start off number 5. Here comes the guy, true freshman. He'll be on campus shortly. Wide receiver. We've talked about him, I think, since the day he verbally committed to NDSU and could be, and I put could be in quotation marks, a difference maker for the Bison this upcoming year, and that's Chaska wide receiver Sean Engel.
6'5", 200, that's the first thing you need to know about this guy. And again, you talk about stabs in the dark. We don't know if he's going to play or not because it's not like there's actually a lot of openings at receiver. You have Urzendowski, you have Shepard, you got Dimitri Williams coming back, you got some kids already in the program, but he plays a different body type. And that's a body type that isn't here yet. Now we're talking about that 6'5" frame.
This is the Jake Winicki frame. And I think the Bison coaching staff didn't go so far as to use Winicki's name when talking about Engel, because that's pretty lofty expectations considering Winicki's a 2-time All-American.
Yep.
But they don't have this kind of guy. They don't have a guy, and you're going to see in his highlight reel, who can go up and get the ball. Vra could do that to some extent, but this guy's 3 inches taller than Zach Vra.
And ever since this Division I thing has been happening, I've been looking for this guy to come into the program. Remember Nick Paul Calhoun?
Wow.
He was a receiver at like 6'6".
Old school, yes.
Didn't quite measure up and didn't make it. Now, this is almost the second attempt at it, I think. These guys are hard to find because everybody wants them.
Now, you mentioned already, you look at the guys. Urzendowski is just a junior. Eric Perkins, who doesn't play a ton at wide receiver. Marquise Bridges, who they are hopeful and high on, but he's not a big guy. Obviously, Darius Shepard. We already talked about Dimitri Williams last week. I think there's a spot open. And you mentioned it. If you can play, you find a spot, much like they did with Urzendowski in 2014. This guy, I think, is going to see the field as long as he stays healthy in fall camp. And I think he's going to play a lot. I do.
How often did we see Carson Wentz with Zach Vra line up and they did? Because Vra was 6'2", not 6'5", but he had great hands and he could get up and his body control. So you saw it down in the fade route in the end zone, and that's where this guy can come along is when you're going against 5'11" cornerbacks and you have a 6-inch advantage on these guys, that's a big deal. And I just and it really helps, I think, give a threat down by the goal line, and it opens up the run too when you have that.
And it certainly helps out for Easton Stick to just be able to lob a pass towards the sideline or to the end zone for a guy to go and get it. And Bison coaches have told us that, and other position coaches as well. The further you away are from the ball, it's easier for you to play as a true freshman. And obviously, wide receiver is not necessarily close to the football. That's why I think that as long as he has a good and healthy fall camp, that he's going to
picks up the
field.
offense.
Right, that's a huge deal too.
Urzendowski was able to do that as a true freshman, to pick up the offense like that, and the coaches took note. Now, can Sean Engel pick up the offense in the first week or two of practice? It's a lot of pressure on a young man to really be able to do that.
What do you think? Can you put an expectation, a number-wise, on this guy for 2016? If he plays, what do you expect out of him?
Well, if he plays, I'm looking for maybe 5 touchdowns. I think he could be that guy. 20 receptions.
I was going to say 25. Yeah,
25?
Somewhere in that area. That would be probably a really good year as a true freshman.
But I think just having that threat will help Easton Stick with a multi-dimensional passing game.
Not many R.J. Urzendowskis out there. They're going to have the kind of true freshman year like he had a couple years ago. So there you go. Number 5 on our newcomer list on the Bison video blog. Check back all week.